Hello Magic Makers, Karolina here again with another new moon reading. This time it's for the 8th of November 2018 and I have chosen the Wild Unknown Tarot deck this time and the Spirit Cats Oracle cards. And as usual, we will have a look at what's good to let go of this month, what's good to let in on the other hand, and this is the guidance card that will help us with the previous two. So starting with the letting go card, here we got Nine of Pentacles upside down. This card is very abundant because pentacles are all about physical stuff that has already manifested in the physical outside world. So let's say it can be the body, it can be our health, but it can also be money or pretty much anything, any physical stuff that you can imagine, you can touch and have. Usually it symbolizes also the fruits of your efforts and the gains of your efforts really. And as you can see over here, all the pentacles are kind of protected by the feathers, and that's to symbolize the tendency to keep your wealth safe. And as you are piling on your wealth, you are getting more and more worried about losing it. And that's what the reverse meaning and the meaning in this reading of this card actually is. It's about being too worried, too preoccupied, too restricted, and enslaved basically by all your gains and physical stuff that you have surrounded yourself with. Actually, this card is very similar to the one we had last month, and where we had, I think it was 4 wands. And in that reading, it was more about the energy and the projects and activities that we are reliable on. And this time it's about the gains. It's about stuff, basically, okay? Again, physical things that you can touch. And the suggestion is that you should let go of everything in your life that started maybe as a nice thing to have, or maybe as a nice tool to make you feel safe in your life. So let's say money, for example, right? You want to earn some money so that you don't have to feel like you're surviving from day to day. But at some point, it kind of gets all twisted, and instead of earning money for living, you start living for earning, right? And all of a sudden you realize that you just can't do stuff that you want to do because you feel like sorry, that's my child. Because you feel like you are restricted by everything that you own. So for example, you all of a sudden you can't just go backpacking for 6 months all around the world, because who would pay the bills? Who would take care of your car? Who would take care of your plants and animals? And you have just bought new furniture into your apartment. So are you gonna leave now? Are you crazy? So that's the stuff that this card is talking about. It's basically just reminding you to be careful about this dependency on physical stuff, and that anytime you feel restricted by all these things, but by having too much stuff maybe in your life, it's maybe good to reflect on it and think about, do you really need to be this dependent on it? Do you really have to pay all those bills, or can you actually get rid of some of the bills that you have in your life so that you can feel more freedom? On the other hand, we have the letting in card, and that came out also reversed, and that's the 4 of Cups. Now, cups are all about emotions, so usually relationships. And this one in its regular meaning is all about emotional withdrawal. As you can see, the rat sitting on the cups, she's protecting the energy, the emotions, and whatever is contained in the cups. But again, we got it reversed, so in its opposite meaning here. And I think the card is telling us that we should open ourselves to emotional openness and vulnerability. Oh my goodness, this word is just so difficult. You know what I mean, even when I can't pronounce it right. So this will be a great opportunity this month for you to open yourself up to positive energies that you might be worried about because of the consequences, because you feel like you might get hurt or something. But it's also about the little simple things, like accepting a compliment, accepting help from somebody, accepting an invitation, accepting kindness. Usually, or oftentimes, we're scared of doing this because we feel like we gotta give something in return, that it's not, you know, given freely and unconditionally, but that basically any exchange like this is business somehow. Well, this might be true in a lot of cases, but this card reminds you that the decision, if you want to give something in return is always up to you, and you can autonomously decide whether you want to give something back or not. If you are not in the space where you do, you don't have to do that, because the person on the other side should also give freely, unless it has been specified beforehand that, you know, they're giving you something because they want something in return. So open yourself up to receiving, especially on the emotional level, and also maybe create safe environment for people you love so that they can open themselves up to you as well. And the last card, which is the guidance card, we got the Catalyst over here. I will show you the description in the back so that you can read it for yourself. You can pause the video if you like. And I feel like this card is trying to tell us that even though both the cards and both the processes I was speaking about can feel very scary because they push us to step out of our comfort zone, they're usually a catalyst to something much greater. And we don't usually go for the changes because we're worried about what if the change is worse than what I have right now. But this card is telling you actually it can be much, much better too. And that's usually the option that we don't think about. We kind of forget that stuff and life can get much better as well. So if I summarize the reading real quick for you, what to let go of this month is too much dependency on physical stuff, money, and basically all those unliving things in your life that you have gathered across time, and now they kind of block you in making free decisions. What to let in is more emotional vulnerability. Oh my goodness, I gotta Google this word and learn the proper pronunciation so that next time I can pronounce it properly. And the guidance card is the Catalyst, which is telling you that it's okay to change stuff in your life and to catapult yourself into better situations, and have this in mind that stuff can always get worse than what it is right now, but it can always get so much more better as well. So better that you don't even know of it yet. So I hope it made sense. Again, let me know if it resonated with you, and I'll see you next month. Bye!